What's up, everybody? Ooh, we're back, and I have headphones this time. Welcome to the Dojo. It's your Grandmaster, Chris. Thank you, Mike Falzone, for that one. Welcome back, everybody. We're back. We're back in the Dojo. We're back here. Today's going to be a bit of a crazy episode, probably the most wild one yet, because I have so much going on. But let's catch a breath, man. Let's just catch a breath right now. It feels good to be back. It's been 1 week, a little less than that actually, because first off, let me apologize. Grandmaster was supposed to post. I was supposed to post the episode last Tuesday, and I think it didn't go up till Wednesday. But hey, in the Dojo, you just gotta settle down a little bit. Everyone's gotta understand that sometimes things happen. Sometimes you get punched in the fucking face, bitch. And sometimes you don't. You know, and last week, you guys all got fucking punched in the face. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, Grandmaster's voice is a little lower today. It's a little lower because I did a lot. But today's a beautiful Sunday. The episode should be airing... Oh, fuck it off. And he fucked off. Everybody listens to Grandmaster in the Dojo. But this episode should be airing on Tuesday, unless I decide, because we're prepared. Now, this episode might only run 45 minutes because I have somewhere to be, and I didn't realize I'd have to leave so early. Poor management, brise on time. We talked about it in a podcast where my whole family is late for things, and I'm going to try not to be late today. But yeah, so it should go out Tuesday. The last episode was fun. I'm really stoked that you guys there's a certain amount of people who keep watching, who keep coming back, who like the podcast. I'm getting DMs from you guys. You know, I'm getting Grandmaster pod at Gmail emails from you guys asking me for advice. Now, no, I don't know if I am entirely qualified to give you the advice that you deserve, but I'm here. And if you're here, I'll give you advice to the best of my ability. Not right now. We'll do that later, but I'm just glad to be back, man. I've been home alone this weekend since Friday morning. It's now Sunday. It's the first time in a long time that Sammy Jo's been out of town, and I miss the shit out of her, dude. I miss her, but it's fun to hang out too and just do nothing. Also enjoyable. I used to do a lot of that back before I met Sammy Jo, but I miss the shit out of her, dude, and she's having fun in San Diego, which is great. Is it San Diego? San Francisco. San Diego, San Francisco. It's San Diego. Yeah, it's San Diego. She's in San Diego, I think. Whatever's closest to LA. But she's there hanging out with a friend, going to Seal Beach and all that shit. Dude, speaking of Seal Beach, I hope I don't fucking forget all the other shit I wanted to talk about. I won't. I just won't. Nope, I'm making the decision. I won't. Because Brisson memory, I'm changing it. I'm changing the game. My kid, one day, he's not going to have the Brisson memory. Hey, this motherfucker needs to tighten up. Oh, the mic. I'm so sorry. I have to tighten this. Got to tighten this little guy. But Seal Beach is a place in San Diego. Yeah, San Diego. I confuse San Francisco with San Diego, but San Francisco is so much further, right? It's a place where there's just hundreds of seals laying all over the beach, pissing, shitting, farting, eating, fucking. Do seals fuck? Seals definitely fuck. Seals get down with it. Seals are like, people put them in movies, and what's that one where they make the seal very sexualized? They sexualize the seals a lot. And that's what I want to do, man. I want to make love to a seal. But anyways, I went there one time with Sammy Jo. She's my wife, by the way, if you didn't know. And if you didn't know, what the fuck? Come on, man. Grandmaster, he knows everything. And so should you. But I should obviously know that she is my wife. Anyways, we went to Seal Beach one time. And that's where I discovered I'm allergic to seals so much. And that fucking sucked, man, because it was crazy. I'm allergic to so many things. Grandmaster he doesn't have a lot of weaknesses, but the weaknesses he does have are fucked and make him feel fucked. My allergies, man. Horses, Seals, recently found out, makes my nose completely shut down and my throat get itchy and my eyes water and I can't breathe very well. I had to get the fuck out of there. We were there and it was just hitting me like a brick wall, the allergies. And it fucking sucks, man. I've had allergies my whole life. And it ruins so much of your day all the time, especially if you're constantly subjected to your allergies, like I was. Cats, dogs, mold, trees, grass, children, other children, glue, which I ate a lot of as a kid, and I was allergic to it. I don't know why I was allergic to it. I know why I ate it. I'm kidding, I didn't eat glue. I knew a fucking kid, and by knew, I mean I have this memory of when I was a kid, and I don't know where the fuck I was, but we were playing with Play-Doh, and there was this other kid there, and he was eating the Play-Doh. He was eating the Play-Doh. He was eating the yellow Play-Doh, and he said it tasted like bananas. So I tried it. It didn't taste like bananas at all. It tasted salty, and that's it. And that's when I learned that kid's going to grow up to be a serial killer. And he probably is. But that's okay, you know? So that's Seal Beach with the Play-Doh stuff. Last night and Saturday night, I went to the Comedy Store for the second and then third time last night. And it was awesome, dude. The first night I went, which was Saturday night, I think. No, it would have been Friday night because it's Sunday now. Friday night I went to the Comedy Store with Steve, and we had a fucking blast. Saw some cool comics there. You know, Jamar Neighbors. He was the funniest guy or just comedian that night. He was really funny, dude. He did this funny bit where generally everyone was laughing at him and it was really good. And then the odd time he would say something that just like it didn't hit, like the audience didn't get him, which like I appreciate even more because you can like when you're on like the comedic wavelength of like recognizing what's funny and seeing other people not get it because it's just it's a weird type of humor. Which I'm not saying I'm on this like fucking higher wavelength. It's just like a certain wavelength where like you understand certain types of comedy and stuff. I don't get a lot of comedy too. I don't get any comedy, man. I never laugh. I just want to laugh. But so one joke went over everybody's head, or they just thought it was too weird or something. And then he just he wraps the mic cable through his buck crack, and he turned around and he's just like, "What do you think of that?" And everyone just fucking laughed. And it was so funny. It was so random and out of the ordinary. It was super funny. Really funny guy. And then Steve and I just had a great time. We had a couple of drinks. And that's the thing. At the Comedy Store, it's not a place you want to go and get like fucking drunk. You just want to have like a beer or two just to like take the edge off. But I love the Comedy Store, man. It was I feel very honored to even just be there watching comedians in the first place, like going with Steve, just like you're just there appreciating the culture of everything, because I know like a fair amount of the background of the whole place, and you know, I'm just like fascinated by the world. And I've talked about wanting to do stand up on this podcast a bunch of times. You heard? But that night was good. And then last night I went out with Mike Falzone to the Comedy Store, and we just went and hung out. We didn't even go to see people do stand up, tell jokes, be funny into the mic. And that was fucking amazing too. He knows everybody there because he goes there quite often, and introduced me to some of the people that work there. Some really cool comics. Everyone's super nice. And it's just an amazing place, man. When you want to do comedy, I think I'm on the right road to maybe one day doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still, and I talked to this with some of the other comics too. It's just working on those jokes, man, writing them down. And trying to figure out what's funny, what to steer away from, comedy wise. But super cool place, man. It gets me really excited. Gets me fucking pumped. Are you guys as pumped as I am right now? What am I drinking? I'm drinking a nitro cold brew from Coffee Bean. I don't like it as much. I made a mistake today. I thought. Yeah, I had a little throat burp there. Happens all the time. Almost every podcast I have one of those little like... That was the inner demon, but I made a mistake. I truly did. I thought that this was going to be a tastier, smoother cold brew, but it's not. It is smoother, but it has a different taste. And sometimes you got to risk it for the biscuit, but then the biscuit is shittier. This biscuit's shittier. It's a shit skit. It's a shittier biscuit. But that's okay. It's got caffeine, and that's what I needed. You know, I actually got 2 of them. Didn't finish one. Because in my dojo, dude, it doesn't matter what I do. I can do anything. And it's all okay. Because I hold myself accountable for all of it. You know? And I will be giving myself a stern punishment later for not finishing it. And I left it over there by the couch on the table. At least I use a coaster. You know? Isn't it crazy? The world we live in? Where guys can just not finish their coffee. But I made a mistake, like I said. I wish it was a regular cold brew. I'm trying to find my go-to place. So far, Coffee Bean's regular cold brews are good. And Starbucks, I don't know. I forget if they're good or not. But should we see what's going on in the world today? You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to go on my phone for this one. I had to jump into this podcast with almost nothing to talk about. But not that I have nothing to talk about, but without preparing some stuff because I have to be out of here. There's a plane! Do you hear it? Awesome. I don't even live near an airport. You're flying too low. You're flying way too low. Too close to the dojo, man. What's going on in the world today? Let's see what's on trending. We're going to do a live session right now where it's Grandmaster off the fucking top. Also, thank you guys for those of you who rated the podcast on iTunes, man. You did good. You guys all gave it 5 stars, which is obviously great, and that's what we want. But there were some really cool paragraphs of just like stuff you guys said. How the fuck do I go on trending moments on the phone when there's a laptop right here? Grabbing it. Got him. Dude, we were supposed to go paintballing on Saturday. Some of me's glad that we didn't go paintballing because I fucking loved paintballing and shit like that when I was a kid. Not even a kid, but like a teenager. And I'm still a kid, man. I'm 23. But turning 24. Isn't that funny when people say that? The younger you are, the more you are likely to say, but I'm turning whatever the next age. At 18, I'm 18, but I'm turning 19. Turning 19 actually too, though. Of course you are. Everyone's turning their next age, dude. I love that. I used to do that too. Because you wanted to be older. You wanted to be more mature. But with maturity comes sagging body parts. I'm looking forward to when my body parts sag. You know, I can't wait to see just where my balls go when I'm 60. You know? I just feel like they won't be as close to me. Fucking nailed it. That was a joke made up on the spot. I think it would kill because it's relatable because everyone's 60. All right. We're jumping right into trending now. Because there's something worthwhile. There always has to be. There isn't. Did you guys watch the, what's the documentary? The Michael Jackson documentary? Let's see. Michael Jackson documentary. Let's find some stuff out about it right now. Live on the podcast. I want to get to a point where I'm doing this live. Who knows, man? Leaving Neverland. Yeah. Have you seen it? How is it? Is it on Hulu? Who fucking knows? But I don't have an opinion on it yet. Grandmaster doesn't have an opinion on it yet, but I heard that it's very sad. I heard that hearing people talk about it's very sad. Obviously. It's not a surprise, but you know, it's interesting to learn about, you know, the fucked up things people do. You know? Like R. Kelly. You guys think he's innocent still? There's still people that think he's innocent, right? Crazy to me, man. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. But there's a lot of evidence that points towards it. I don't want to be pointing any fingers on the podcast, but also it's my dojo, and I will if I wanna. I'll point all the fingers. And right now, pointing them. What else is going on in the world, man? Should we open up some emails from you guys? See what the fuck's going on. Also, let's talk about guests for a second. I do want to have guests on this podcast. I'm waiting for the moment. You know what I mean? I just wanted to establish the dojo as a solo thing that I don't have to rely on people for, because I kind of wanted to weed everybody out, if that makes sense. Because doing this podcast and mostly doing this is something that I can, for the most part, keep up with. The past 2 weeks have been... Last week, let me also apologize for last week. Last week, the fucking camera died, which I think I said at the end, but that was frustrating. But at least it was still like 53 minutes or something like that. Today's episode is going to be shorter because Grandmaster's got to go. Grandmaster's got a hangout to go to. You know? But like I was saying, I just looked at the mic and I went totally fucking cross-eyed there. Did anyone see it? You know what I'm saying? But, fuck yeah. I was going to say the podcast, I love doing it because I can consistently do it. And we're weeding out the people that don't want to watch whatever I want to do. And that's what this whole channel's for, man. That's what the dojo is. The dojo is exactly that. Like this week's the unprepared podcast. Most unprepared podcast of all time. Literally had nothing to talk about other than, you know, the Comedy Store and Sammy Joe heading out. But it's fun to explore it, dude. I'm also using this podcast as a platform to, you know, just like go through my thoughts and figure out funny shit. What if a joke happens out of a podcast? You know what I mean? I keep on burping. Yeah, I do keep on burping. Oh yeah, the emails. So if you have any advice, we'll just do a couple and then hopefully we'll have another burp, man. Holy fuck. How does that happen to me? I'm too young for this. I'm too young for this to be happening to me. All right, here we go. Advice column. This man's name, I don't even think I fucking finished what I was going to say because my brain's so scattered, you know. So scattered today, dude, because not having the topics like I normally do is, it's a little, just keep me a little shorthanded here, but I'm enjoying it. Again, that's the cool thing about the Grandmaster podcast is you never know what you're going to get. Usually expect more prepared podcasts, but this is the beginning, you know, when we're 100 episodes deep and I have everything fucking nailed to the T and the set looks better, the audio's just good every time, you know, you're going to miss these days where shit went weird. Shit went unprepared and I didn't know what I was going to say next. You're going to miss these days. So enjoy them while you're in them. Live in the moment a little. Okay? If you have any troubles in your life or you want advice on anything, relationships with your parents, sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your whoever friend, your friend, then you can email me at grandmasterpod@gmail.com and I will help you with that by giving you my advice. Exclaimer or disclaimer, both of them perhaps. I don't know. I'm not God. I don't know what's best for everyone. But in the dojo, we help each other out. Okay. This first one comes from, fake name, Alejandro Corbin. Alejandro Corbin says, "Hello, Grandmaster. I am honored to be a part of this glorious dojo. Thank you. I'm honored to have you. I'm honored to be here too. We're in a place now where we're building the dojo up. It's kind of like we just opened a dojo in town and people are just starting to find out about it. You know what I mean? And it used to be like a a yoga place, so there was already a bunch of customers there, but they turned into a dojo, and some of the people who did yoga are staying while the others are leaving, but we don't want them anyways because they're just about yoga, and here we're doing like fucking death moves, man. You know what I mean? We're trying to get Grandmaster status, but if you don't bathe, you don't get it. You don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Because I said that in the podcast where I confessed that I bathed today. And by bathe, I don't just mean clean myself. I mean, I take baths. Once in a while. Body sore? Where you're at the comedy store hanging with friends, and then you're tired and your body's sore the next day? Lay in the tub and soak in nice hot water. Feels amazing. And it's a requirement to be a Grandmaster. Anyways, Alejandro, let's help you out, man. I'm a senior in college studying graphic design near New York City. I'm graduating in just a few months. I've been super stressed and anxious, but also excited for the future. Do you have any advice about how I should deal with this anxiety about the future? Or just a story about a time of great change in your life? Loving the podcast. It's 10 out of 10. I watch every episode. Fuck yeah, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Alejandro. P.S. Can I get my yellow belt? You know what? You've watched every podcast? Yes. This is the first official yellow belt we're giving out. I want to figure out something to actually give to you guys that maybe I see emails from every week, or or in the comments section, and I just like see you guys and I know you're there, and then you've been around for a while, you've been in the dojo, your experience, people recognize you here, as a regular. Maybe like little pins or something. I don't know. Or like, I don't know, something that I can have like a different color of, right up like every belt color, and then like I'll send them to you guys or something. But it can't be everyone. Everyone can't get one, you know what I mean? But I already gave one away. Because this guy says he's watched every podcast. He could have been lying. Sure, but I'm going to trust him because he seems genuine. Anyways, Alejandro, which your name isn't that, but it started with an A. You're worried about... Hopefully this doesn't unplug anything, because Grandmaster has the cords all fucked up today because I rushed it. But you're worried about the future because college is ending soon, right? Just want to make sure, is that right? In a few months, yeah. Okay. It's totally normal and okay for you to be worried about the future. Everyone is. I'm still worried about the future, man. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm going to not have a job next month, or, I'm not like positive that I won't have a job next month, but you know what I mean? It's always a possibility. I don't know if I'm going to have a job in 6 months or a job in a year, or, if my YouTube channel, if I lost my job and then I had to rely on the YouTube channel, which wasn't doing super, super well monetarily, what do I do? You know what I mean? Like, everyone has their version of worrying about the future, but you in generally, everyone also feels like, oh, fuck, man, I'm making the weirdest mouth noises. I heard that. Anyways, everyone feels like their situation compared to the people around them for the most part is worse. And I feel like that's just normal. But you just gotta use that energy of being anxious and worried or whatever to do things that will help you feel more prepared and ready and, excited, Like for me, if I'm worried about the future of, say, this YouTube channel, I'm going to do what I can, use that oh fuck, what if it doesn't work out, to do more or do something that will help the channel grow. So you just kind of like use that as fuel for the fire, baby. And as far as like work, it's kind of like the same thing. Like if you're at your job and you're worried you're going to lose it, then you're going to work harder. You're going to use that as a tool to push you even further. So that's kind of like, that's what I would say, man. You try to use that as fuel with school and stuff like that to, I'm sure you got an idea of what you want to do. So figure that out and do the things, take every step necessary to do what you want to do. And that's something a buddy of mine a long time ago, years ago, hit me up, and he was having a rough time in life, and he was like smoking a lot of weed, and he was like a hometown friend. Oh, I have a nail that hurts. God, that is the worst. A little hangnail. Never be a hangnail. Don't have a hangnail. I don't like that. Sorry, you guys. I'm fucking back. Grandmaster's good. Yeah, anyway, so he's having a rough time. He's one of my hometown friends, like one of my best friends for a long time that we just haven't talked, kind of just because I'm in America doing my shit here and he's in Canada doing his thing. But he called me one time and he was like, down, and he didn't know what to do. And you just have to really make a choice to figure out first what you want to do. I know that's tough too, but that's something you just got to figure out by doing a bunch of shit you don't want to do, and you'll spend time thinking about what you do want to do. And then once you figure that out, the only thing stopping you from doing what you want to do is yourself. Truly. It's cheesy, but it's true, because there are steps. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to be a famous comedian, famous comic, I don't get to just go out there and be a famous comic. But if I really want to do it, then I'll do every single step along the way to get there, because you're here, you want to be here. There's a bunch of steps that are generally linear too. Like, you're always getting closer to being what you wanted to be originally when you started doing it in the first place. But you just have to do those steps, man. Like, my buddy's issue was like, he's like, I want to go to college and I want to do this. And I'm like, well, go to college and do that. And he's like, well, I don't really have the money for college right now, and like student loans are difficult and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, well, save your money. And then once you have enough money, you get a student loan and use that money. Like, just you're working, you save your money, you get a loan, you've got savings to pay for whatever percentage of your school you need to. You go to school, you finish school, you get the job, and there you go. Which, like, it sounds easy in that step. Obviously, it's difficult because you're your worst enemy, right? Like, you're not going to want to, or maybe you're not putting in 100% or whatever, but like, you, for the most part, can do anything you really want to do, as long as you just do right now, what's the first step? And then once you do that first step, what's the next step? You just always just do the thing that you need to do that gets you closer to being where you want to be, And I'm trying to do it too in the comedy world, man. My steps started off going, I for years have been fascinated and like so drawn to the stand-up world that I learned all about it. I learned about like a lot of people, most people in the scene, and all the background of the community and stuff like that. And then, I reached out to Mike Falzone, and then Mike Falzone brought me to the Comedy Store. And then, now I'm going to the Comedy Store and meeting people there. And eventually one day I might, one day soon, hopefully, I go do open mics, and I do terrible, but I learn from it, Like, you just have to do something that gets you closer to where you want to be. What a long answer, Alejandro. Alejandro. Anyways, man, hope that fucking helped. We kind of went on a tangent, but maybe somebody needs to hear that. And I hate when people say that shit. Or do I hate it? Huh. No, you know what it is? Things that are possibly cheesy. I used to be cheesy in certain ways when I was younger, like musically, and mostly musically with writing and stuff like that. So now when I recognize that something might be cheesy, I have like a natural distaste for it. Does that make sense? Is it distaste? It kind of makes me go, oh, a little. Even though maybe that cheesy is fine. Huh. But what was I fucking saying? Brisson memory. What else, man? Should we open another? What else did I do this week? Let me think about what I did this week. Did the Comedy Store. Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do paintball. Did I really dive into that? No, I think I fucking ADD'd out or ADHD'd out, whatever it is. Yeah, when I was younger, I loved paintball. We were supposed to do that Saturday. Today's Sunday. It was yesterday. We didn't do it. We were also supposed to do axe throwing for Sugar Pine 7, which we didn't do. I'm really glad we didn't, because I just didn't want to this weekend. I wanted to go to the Comedy Store, which I ended up doing. But paintballing, man, I did a really cool fucking paintball when I was younger with a buddy of mine and some of his buddies. And it was like all these remakes of like Normandy, like a mini version of Normandy. You guys know what Normandy is, right? Do some research. Fucking Normandy. You'd storm the beaches of Normandy and there'd be people up on the fucking hills and you do teams like that. And it was really fucking cool. And there was like actual vehicles and boats you could like go in. Real vehicles. A bus. You could be in a bus in a fucking paintball war. And there was a remake of of Rust in Call of Duty. Have you ever played Call of Duty? I want to know what kind of audience we have in the YouTube comments. You guys people that played Call of Duty, or are you different kind of people? I want to learn more about you guys. But before I even talk about that, the paintballing, man. It was really fun. And I loved paintballing when I was a kid. But I don't know. I just don't want to feel the pain of it anymore. Or maybe it won't hurt as much. That's the other thing. If it doesn't hurt anymore, or I'm like, I'm at a point in my age where it's like, but I'm good, then fuck it, I'll do paintball. But I'm going to have to do paintball anyways. And then the axe throwing. The axe throwing's cool. You just go to some bar where people are drinking and throwing axes? Question mark. Are they drinking and throwing axes? Question mark. That doesn't sound like a good combo. It sounds like a fun time, doesn't sound like a safe time. That's like saying, can you go to like a gun range and drink and shoot guns? You probably can't drink and throw the axes. There's no way they'd let that happen. But we'll find out. Maybe you can. Maybe it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit, you know? Did I ever tell you about the story of when I got sort of robbed? Someone broke into my car, stole shit. Let's talk about two of those stories, you know? I hope I didn't tell them on the Sugar Pine 7 podcast, but first one was when the Sugar Pine 7 office was in Van Nuys. We were in a pretty terrible strip mall area, which for some reason on Google had our address. So a lot of Sugar Pine 7 viewers would show up at the office with like baked goods and stuff. Generally, I'm not going to eat your baked goods. I appreciate it. I think it's very sweet. But then there's a little voice in my head that says, don't eat that. They baked it with their pubes. There's pubes in it. They want you to eat them. Yum, yum, yum. So, yucky for sure. No, yeah. Definitely a strange thought. It also may have never happened, and everything that had been baked and brought to us could have been perfectly clean. But just the idea of that being a possibility, and there's no way that I can know, makes me instantly go, ugh. Oh, I don't want that. But I've eaten them too. Steve ate like a whole bag. I think there's what's her name? There's a girl, Gina, if you're watching. She baked cookies and sent them to us. But I'll be honest, I ate some of the cookies. Steve ate a lot of the cookies. And that's that. So I'm a fucking liar, actually. I mean, I would do that if I was a big enough fan of someone that I wanted to send them cookies. In my mind, I'm also a big enough fan that I want them to eat my pubes. And that's disgusting. I know. Ugh. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking too. You're thinking, oh man, I'm trying to eat my fucking cereal right now. I'm trying to eat my corn on the cob. Chill with the pube talk, dude. That's what I'm saying. Chill, dude. Yo, chill, dude. How mad does that make people when you say chill or calm down? Oh, man. Those words should mean something else. I mean, they kind of do. They kind of mean, hey, fuck you. I'm super upset right now. Hey, man, just fucking leave me alone for a sec. Hey, dude, chill. Chill? You want me to chill? I am chill. That's it. Oh, yeah, that makes me fucking mad. That makes me mad. If I say something... Now, I'll give an example after this, but if I respond to something and I'm not even mad at all, I'm just raising my voice to compete with the raised voice of the other person, not even a yelling way, just a little bit louder. Grandmaster gets a little louder to match the loudness of the other person, so I'm not put into a defensive position, and then that person says, whoa, chill? What? Dude, don't tell me to chill. Well, I'm chill. I am chill. Never been more chill. Other than before we started talking, and then we both pissed each other off. Just you jump the gun with chill. Why don't you chill, man? Do I just sound like a butthurt asshole right now? Definitely. But it was really funny the other day. What did James say? Oh, he would say something and then I would defend, like he would joke and say something, and I knew he was joking, and I say in a joking way something that also comes off possibly defensive, and then he goes like, chill, dude. And then I go, oh, which is interesting because he didn't know that I was also sort of joking, but it's like the same thing as if, you know, I didn't know that he was joking. In his mind, I didn't know he was joking, but now in my mind, fuck, man, we've gone down the rabbit hole. Woo! This is a special episode. Hot dog. You know? Hot dog. God damn it. We're going off the rails, dude. Again. I'm excited about it, dude. Somebody said in the fucking comments of this, which is like, I don't want to joke at or at the expense of anyone that watches, because then they'll be mad and then you guys will feel like I'm attacking you. But when people say things when they don't fully understand why I'm doing this or something, which, like, I understand that you may not know why I'm doing this, and then you have an opinion, and if I do XYZ for you, in your opinion, it'll make the podcast better or more listenable, you know? But at the same time, maybe I'm doing it for other reasons, you know? Very fucking just vague as fuck right now. But somebody said something like, a solo podcast? Yikes. You know, it kind of just leads to you, you know, coming up with something on the spot and then trying to make the same jokes about it, make a joke about it over and over again in different ways or something like that. And I was like, yeah, that's having fun, man. Have you ever joked with your friends even? When you say something that's kind of funny and then they laugh and then you elaborate on that and make, you know, your addition to the joke, or you alter the joke a bit and you keep laughing about that same general premise, you know? But that's what this is, dude. You don't get to complain in the dojo, man. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You're allowed to complain. But I'm also allowed to go, what? And that's what I'm doing right now to that guy. I appreciate you watching. I don't know if you're going to watch another one. But this whole podcast is in general meant for me to sit down, not have to rely on anyone, just talk to you guys, elaborate on my life, remember moments, remember the funny things about life, and then elaborate on it and see if I can, you know, come up with things that are funny. Because you guys want to hear some shit that I have written down? Just jump the fucking gun. This is a fun episode for me. I'm already, as I'm doing this podcast, going, oh yeah, this is one of those like podcast people are like, oh, remember episode 5 when I didn't say what episode it was in the beginning, but it's episode 5. Remember episode 5 when he was just so unprepared and he just rambled? I actually like that a lot better than when he is prepared. The comments will be at episode 30. Let me read you guys some of the jokes that I have. Some of them I can't read. I realize these are jokes that I've also realized none of them are going to be jokes I develop on. But let's dive into jokes that won't make it. New segment on Grandmaster Pod. Hey, that could be. If I keep writing jokes and then realizing 95% of them are not good jokes and that I'm not going to tell them ever on stage, this is where they'll come. This is the trash bin. The dojo. The joke dojo. Okay. I will tell you the jokes first. No, you know what? I'll tell you the other thing first. So I read Mike a bunch of these because I was just like trying to figure out, you know, how to write jokes and stuff like that. And Mike gave me some rules. Mike Falzone. Love you, buddy. He gave me some rules with writing jokes, which obviously don't apply to everybody, but it's a helpful starter to probably get better faster than like learning on your own what works and what doesn't. But I mean, you still have to do that. But anyways, rule number 1 was like, not in no particular order, was don't write like sex jokes and stuff like that. And don't write jokes that are general and anyone could say it. Write jokes that are about you or your perspective on something in your life, you know? And not just like general, like, what's the deal with airline food? Ha ha ha. It's terrible, isn't it? Dum-dum-dum, dum-dum-dum. You know? So, yeah, it was like no sex jokes, no like stuff that results into like pee-pee poo-poo, you know? Just more about your angle on life, on your unique take. Okay, where are my jokes? Got it. Okay, so I actually said one of them on the other podcast. It was, I think it might have been the last podcast or the one before that, but I wrote it down and then I wanted to just like try talking about it because I thought it was interesting. And then I'll tell you why it doesn't work. So the Uber thing I said a little while back, hopefully I unplugged everything. Where I was like, hey, hey, Uber drivers, don't pick me up when you're already finishing another ride, so I have to wait 15 minutes. But the reason why a reason why, among other reasons, that's not funny is because it's not something that happens to everybody. And that's funny to me. I laughed when I realized that. Mike was like, oh, that's never happened to me. How often does that happen to you? I was like, just the one time, but I wrote a joke about it. So that's why it didn't work, you know, among probably it just not being funny. You know, I want to write jokes about quitting vaping, nicotine addiction, how hard that is, you know. Oh, here's one. It's not even funny. It's so interesting that like you go back and it's not funny, but I'm also setting myself up for failure by saying it's not funny. But I work hard, you know. I've only ever had 2 jobs, and job I had before my current job, which is a real job, was throwing rocks off a property, and I got fired from it because I'm not a hard worker. So there's no joke there. I think I just wrote that down because I wanted to develop it. I think when I originally wrote it down, I was like, the joke is I say, I'm a hard worker. You know, I work fucking hard. I've only ever had 2 real jobs, but the last job I had was throwing fucking rocks off a property, dude. I was tossing my rocks on a property. I was just jerking it out, and I got fired from it because I'm not a hard worker. See, there's just no joke there. Interesting, man. Interesting. Oh, and then there was one that I thought was actually good, and then it kind of counters one of the rules of like not doing sex jokes and stuff like that because it's low-hanging fruit, you know? But I'm going to just do it for you guys. Jokes that won't make it, jokes that don't make it. You can't say those jokes in public because they're not funny. But this next joke, here we go. It's a doozy. Getting a text. Somebody just says, good luck with your podcast. XOXO, your girl. She's making a little reference joke. But all right, guys. So we're on stage. Picture this. So I went to school at a Catholic school when I was younger. You know, but I wasn't Catholic, so it was strange for me to do all the churchy type shit. And we would go to church once a month. Everyone would be on their best behavior. You know, they would all line up, and they would go up to the priest, and they would accept Jesus in a little form of a cracker, like a little cracker form. They would eat them, and they would sit back down. And those of us that weren't Catholic didn't. We had to sit there and watch everybody enjoy it. You know, until one day I said, fuck that, dude. I want to know what Jesus tastes like. I want to know what Jay tastes like. JC, what you taste like, you know? So I went up there and I sucked the priest's dick. And I'll tell you why the joke didn't work. It's just too much of a stretch. And I learned that both from Steve and Mike. So I'm learning though, man. I'm being vulnerable, okay? Grandmaster's being vulnerable. I'm telling you jokes that I thought at one point was funny or were funny. And then I realized they weren't. And then why? But it's fun to analyze it, dude, because I don't know how many of you guys are aspiring comedians. Probably most not, honestly. But it's my dojo, so we'll talk about stuff like that. I won't always talk about fucking comedy and stuff, if that bores you guys. But it's a big part of my life right now, and I'm excited about it. But yeah, that joke doesn't work because it's funny because at first I didn't think it was a big jump from saying that, you know, instead of eating the fucking thing, what's it called? Is it receiving communion? Is that it? I don't know. But instead of eating the thing as a non-Catholic, I went up and sucked the priest's dick to taste Jesus. But and I was like, that's funny because it subverts expectation. but it subverts all expectation to the point where it's unexpected. Because it really is a big jump, you know. But in my mind, writing it, I was like, well, excuse me, what if I just fucking threw up on the podcast? Well, how am I getting so many fucking burps from coffee? Huh? But, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, because for me, it was like, well, there's all these connections. It's like, you know, how the priest used to diddle children. So I was a child and I went up and so the connection there. And then, you know, tasting Jesus because it's the body of Christ. And I wanted to go taste Jesus. So instead I sucked the priest's dick. So it was like, to me in my head, conceptually, it made sense. But it is just too much of a jump, you know? Interesting. Let's see what else I got. Jokes with Kib. Clayton James. Oh, okay, so here's one that definitely could work. At least Mike thinks so anyway. But it's just so fun to learn about what actually works. But I have no idea how to like execute it yet. But it's going to be about how my friend was scrolling through my phone's pictures for whatever reason, and then he came across my a dick pic of mine, and he just immediately starts laughing, and he asked me why it looked like I was choking it so hard. Was I choking it? And I said, well, it's just how I was holding it, man. You know, I was holding it too tight, I guess. Classic. I realized as I was telling that fucking vile, because you have to imagine it, and nobody wants to imagine that. Very funny. But yeah, like there's something, there might be something there. It really depends. You know what I mean? Mike laughed at it, but it's one of those things because it's I don't even want to analyze it because it's also fucking gross. What else we got? Oh yeah, a reason why I'm not gonna do that one maybe then is because it's a sex joke. That's the other thing. So you have to, I guess, pick and choose, you know? But these are just jokes that won't make it with the Grandmaster. This one is, I caught my friend masturbating one time. A lot of masturbation jokes, because I'm just like trying to think, like, what's funny things? But I gotta go past that low-hanging fruit, you know? But I caught my friend masturbating one time, and then, because he left the room for like 30 minutes. Hey, sorry about that, guys. You're getting feedback from somebody texting me. So I caught my friend masturbating one time. I was at his place. It was probably like 18, 17. And we're watching South Park or some shit. You know what I mean? And then he gets up and leaves the room for like 30 minutes. And I'm like, where the fuck is this guy, man? I know he's got like Crohn's or some shit, but like 30 minutes? 30 minutes? You're shitting? So I went upstairs, just like did a walk around, saw that the bathroom door was open and he wasn't in. I was like, where the fuck is my friend? Okay, he's not shitting. Dog's right there. It's alive. Good. I went downstairs and I walked into his room with the door. The door was open and it was also just around the corner from where we were watching TV. And I walk in the room, the door's open and he's just hunched over his bed, beating his meat. And then he freaked out. And I immediately, obviously, turned around and just walked out of the room. Then later, the guy tells me he was clearing his sinuses. He was clearing his fucking sinuses. He said that he heard about that masturbating would be clearing his sinuses, you know, because he had a head cold or something. But very funny, dude. That was something that that was a very funny thing to happen. But also something like a joke that just wouldn't work. You know, it's good. I mean, it's delivery too, right? But let's see if I have anything else before I bore you guys. How fucking boring is it to listen to jokes that you already know going into it aren't going to work or aren't funny? Who decided to do this segment? I think that might be it. Yeah. I mean, that's the only ones I wrote down. You know. But that's it, dude. I'm still trying. None of those jokes are particularly good, but I think it also has to do with I got to figure out how I'm going to say shit. You know? I feel like I'm still somewhat far. I feel like I'm still weeks away from like even having material I think might be funny. And then after I write it down, I got to figure out how to say it. So, you know, it's a crazy world we live in. Should we do another advice? What should that segment be called? What do you guys think? Segment? Let's see what else we got. Desperately need some advice. Let's do this thing. This man's name is, fake name, Jordan Mama Pee. He's related to the other guy. His name is Jordan Mama Pee. Hey, Kib, I love you and the podcast so much. I really need some advice. I'm 16, and there's a girl I really like, and I think she likes me back, but I'm not really sure. I've been in a relationship before, but it was mostly built off peer pressure, and that something I really don't want if me and this girl get together. In my previous relationship, I was almost forced to ask her out by friends, and that's quite the opposite of what I want. I really like this girl, and we've been hanging out a lot. People have been noticing and questioning when I'll ask her out, and once again, I feel like I'm being forced to do something that I'd like to do on my own time. I want to do our first when we both feel like it's time, naturally, not being forced by anyone. I'm very awkward. I'm a very awkward person, and I'm not sure if she likes me back. I was wondering if I should make the relationship a secret for a few weeks, but I'm not sure if she'd be okay with that. I'm very confused and would love some advice. Love the podcast a lot. I can't wait to see what happens with it next. Sorry if this was long, by the way. You're good, man. You're good. That's a toughie, man. No, it's not really a toughie. You're 16. Yeah, you're still young too yet. So it's like relationships are hard and weird and awkward. And it's funny because I haven't even thought about the idea of being peer pressured to ask out a girl since like being real young. I mean, like younger than you even, my dude. Gonna burp. We're good and we're back. But fuck the peer pressure. Like it doesn't matter. Something that like if you can honestly believe what I'm about to tell you, this will help you a lot and like practice it, if that makes sense. But just if you like someone, the title doesn't matter. You know what? Like it doesn't matter if you're dating, if you're just hanging out, if you're married. Obviously those have meaning, but as far as like what I'm saying is it doesn't matter because you just want to be around that person, right? It doesn't matter if you're dating or not. You'll get there, you know, don't force it at all. Fuck what they say, dude. You just want to be with that girl. You know what I mean? But also I remember when I was younger, you wanted to be dating them. Like having that title means a lot or meant a lot when I was young, but but you're 16 too. So obviously I think you can, I don't want to like belittle you, but I mean, when you're 16, I think you can like grasp the idea of that. Like, well, it doesn't matter if I'm dating her or not. If I like her, I just want to be around her and figure out if she likes me. And then if she does like you, just be around each other, hang out, enjoy being with each other, because that's what dating that's what it is anyways, you know, just with a title, and that title will come if it's going to come, you know? So hang out with her more. Just, you like her, so hang out with her and you'll figure out if she likes you. You'll eventually realize it. You know what I mean? Even being an awkward person, even I was awkward when I was younger, man. I had terrible confidence. I didn't have any of it. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of growing up to gain confidence. Well, it did for me anyways, but you'll figure it out. She will act a certain way that will make you feel special and that she likes you, you know? And then if you ever get to the point where you're comfortable talking about it, and it's like, if you feel like she obviously knows you like her, then maybe you can just tell her that you like her and be like, hey, I really like you. Just want to let you know. Wanted to see if you felt the same way. But maybe don't say it like that, like a dick. Hey, I really like you, I guess, or whatever. I just want to feel if you fucking feel the same. That'd be dope if you did. Let me know. Let me know if you like me. Doesn't matter. I don't care. No, I don't care. Truly. You like me? I don't care. But yeah, I think that's what you gotta do, man. And then if she likes you, you know, just take it slow. That's all that matters. You know? Her liking you and wanting to be with you is the same as her dating you. You know? pretty much. Obviously, there's a lot more into it, but that's all that matters. Just be with her if you want to be with her. I hope that helped, man. I hope that helped. What time are we at? Podcast producer, what time are we at? I'm all by myself. 55 minutes? We're doing pretty good, man. Oh, we're not truly at 55. I started a little earlier. Well, you know what, guys? Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Grandmaster Pod. I appreciate you so much. It's been episode 5. I am going to head out early because I have somewhere to be, and I want to make myself have better clothes on. You know what I mean? I want to have better clothes on. I don't want to be wearing my sweats. Maybe change my shirt. Go hang out with my friends. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching. I hope I gave some advice to you guys that maybe helped. Maybe it helped you, maybe it helped someone else. I apologize for not having this podcast super prepared as far as the topics. I hope it was still entertaining, you know. I gave you guys some jokes. Next week, I will be much more prepared. I promise you. It might be the most prepared yet. So, that being said, Grandmaster has ended the session. You may leave the dojo. Don't forget to fucking leave a like on the video on YouTube. It really helps my ego. And also, rate and review the podcast on iTunes. You can listen to it on Spotify. And maybe someday this podcast will grow. I'm going to keep doing it. If you all stop watching, that sucks. But I'm going to still fucking do it. And it doesn't matter if you watch or you don't. Because I love you still. Grandmaster's heading the fuck out, man. Later, guys.